Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So I am very excited for the topic of today's pick a card reading. This is actually a topic that I did a while back on Patreon and I thought it was just a really nice topic. Shout out to whoever suggested it back then, but I want this reading to be an opportunity for us to sit down with your soul and just ask them what it is that they are truly longing, that they are truly craving for right now, and just get as many messages from them as we can. And I'm hoping that this reading will serve as guidance, but mostly as confirmation for everybody who is seeking to live a life more in alignment with the desires of their higher self. So there are 3 readings to choose from today. So I'll explain these images or where they're from. One of the decks that we're going to use today is the Song of Gaia Oracle, and it was sent to me by the creator as a gift, which I'm so grateful for, and it's an absolutely gorgeous deck. And so the images here are postcards that came with the deck, and I just thought they were so beautiful and I wanted to use them as like the group selection. But I kind of have a whole set of items for each of the options. We have the postcard, and then we also have a shell, and we also have a different little like assortment of cacti. So I'm just gonna give you guys a close-up of each of these sets, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. So for option number 1, this is your image. This is your shell, and this is your plant. Option number 2, this is your image. This is your shell, and this is your plant. And option number 3, this is your image. This is your shell, and this is your plant. And here are all of the options laid out side by side again. So as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose this image, this is going to be a reading all about what it is that your soul is truly longing for. So we are going to just dive right into this question and get as many messages as we can from your higher self. So as I'm relaying these messages, if what your soul is wanting sounds like something that you already have in your life or that you are already in the process of moving towards, you can claim these messages as a confirmation that you are in alignment with your soul's desires. If it sounds like something that you don't have in your life or that you're not moving towards yet, but it does feel good in your heart, then you can claim these messages as guidance to start moving in that direction. However, if the messages like really don't resonate or really don't feel like something that you want, you may feel called to try listening to another group, or maybe this is just not your reading today. But with that being said, let's get started. So the first deck that we're going to use is the Moonchild Tarot. She's one of my thick boys, so it's a little hard to shuffle. Okay, group number 1s. What is group number 1's soul truly longing for? So we're starting off with the 2 of Wands, the King of Cups, and Judgment. And then I'm going to clarify these with the Astral Realms Oracle. So could we please get a card to clarify the Two of Wands for group number 1? Okay, and we have citrine with sun and clarity. To clarify the King of Cups, we have Herkimer Diamond with Earth Star Chakra and alignment. And to clarify Judgment, we have, is it hematite or hematite? I think it's hematite, with culmination and the root chakra. And I just want to point out that we have Mars in Aries energy here with the Two of Wands. We have water sign energy here, so Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And then we have Pluto energy here with Judgment or more Scorpio energy. And with the sun, this could be Leo, or one of the signs I just mentioned could be your sun sign. And then, yes, okay. We also have the numbers 18, 29, and 7 on the oracle cards in case that is significant for you guys. I actually want to start with these cards in the middle, the King of Cups and alignment, because I think what your soul is telling us right off the bat is that your emotions are very good markers, and they're a very good compass for what you should be doing with your life. I think this is a group where we need to get into the practice or get back into the practice of realizing that your next steps to take are as simple as like going where it feels good. If I feel good when I'm doing this, then it's right for me. If I don't feel good doing this, then it's not right for me. And I think that your intuition and your emotions are very much pointing you in the right direction right now. And that's sometimes something that is difficult to remember or difficult to truly acknowledge if we have come from suppressing our emotions or dismissing our emotions or doubting our intuition. I think this is really your soul saying to follow what you feel and to follow your heart. And I think it's very interesting that we have a Herkimer diamond below the King of Cups, because for one, the King of Cups is highly intuitive and is psychically gifted. But one thing, and it may actually be the only thing that I know about Herkimer diamonds, is that they can help you to have very vivid dreams, or they can help you to have lucid dreams. I've heard of like sleeping with a Herkimer diamond under your pillow. It can help you to access wisdom in the dream world. So this might also be your soul indicating that your dreams have been showing you, or your soul has been showing you through dreams what it is that you truly want, especially matters of the heart. So if you have dreams about like you're doing a certain thing or you're surrounded with certain people and you wake up kind of feeling like your heart is full, you wake up, feeling that, what do you call it? That afterglow of a beautiful dream that you've had. This is your soul showing you, like, this is what we truly want. This is the direction that we should go in. And I just think that this group, you're likely already seeing, or I should say feeling very clearly what it is that you want, but just needed that reminder of like your emotions are a valid compass, and what your intuition and what your dreams have been showing you are essentially a roadmap, or that is your soul showing you like this is the life that I want to live. This is what I want to experience. Not only am I getting that message from like the clarity of diamonds, but also with the King of Cups being like the most mature or the most evolved of the court cards. I think you guys have a highly developed intuition. You already have a very strong bond. You have a very strong bond with your soul. And I'm just looking at the other energies here. And your emotions will guide you. I'm just looking at how the King of Cups is like looking towards the Two of Wands, and then we have the Sun here with clarity. There might be something in your waking life or something in your 3D experience soon that is going to confirm to you what your soul truly wants. With the Two of Wands here, it is giving me the sense that I think your soul might be craving a little bit of adventure, or like branching out and trying something new, because the feeling that I get with the Two of Wands, it does talk about new opportunities, and it makes me think of someone who, like, the world is their oyster. The way this person is holding the globe, it's like they have the world in the palm of their hand and they can go out and experience anything that they want to. And it's also a card that makes me think of like exploring new aspects of yourself or exploring new talents of yourself. So I think that your soul could be hinting there is some dormant. Yes, it's dormant, because Judgment is also about like resurrection and like answering the call. So there is some like passion or talent that is dormant within you guys, like a facet of you that wants to be explored. The Two of Wands makes me think of like exploring a new option or exploring an adjacent possibility. So your soul is saying like you're kind of dancing around. You're kind of dancing around the passion or the talent that your soul wants to explore. Like you're in the right field, you're in the right ballpark, but it's just something slightly different. And with the Sun under here, clarifying, I think this is your soul saying it's something that puts you more in center stage, or that puts you more in the center of attention, so to speak. We have Mars and Aries energy here, so that is a very like bold, me first, taking initiative, putting myself out there kind of energy. So if I could give an example of this, let's say, this is just like a hypothetical example because it's very easy to understand. Let's say you're a photographer. And so your soul is saying like, you are very much in the right ballpark, because what I do want is to express myself through art and like capture the beauty of the world. So like you're in the right, you're dancing around it, but I want to try being like the subject. I want to try being the muse. I want to try being the center of attention. So maybe this is someone like making a transition from a photographer to a model, or like a script writer to an actor, or a fashion designer to a fashion model. Again, like it's like you're behind the scenes, and now your soul wants to try being on the other side and be like the face of it. This could even be something like you've been the student and now your soul wants to be the teacher and like stand at the front of the class. Or you love going to concerts and now your soul wants to be the singer. I think you guys get the picture. Like you love watching YouTube videos and now your soul wants to be the YouTuber. So it's like you're already very much like interacting with the things that your soul truly loves, and like you've really identified what it is that gives you passion. It's just that like your soul is saying like they want to kind of be, I guess I could say, the lead role, I think. This is really the vibe that I'm getting with these two cards here. And I just think this King of Cups and Herkimer Diamond is like your soul letting you know that you are very much on the right path. We see that in the King being very mature and the Herkimer Diamonds being crystal clear. We even have the like clarity, alignment, culmination for your keywords. And also the way the King of Cups is like looking right at this. Now, let's talk about this. We have Judgment, which, like I said, it has a feeling of resurrection. Like we're bringing up an old passion of yours, or we're bringing up something that your soul has wanted to explore for quite some time, and now you're finally answering the call. But what I think is interesting about this, with the root chakra here, there's definitely something about you needing to be secure enough or feel comfortable to do this. So it's kind of like your soul is calling for you to enter in this position, but your human self might feel uncomfortable with that. Your human self might feel like you are lacking the confidence to do that, or you're lacking the like security to do that, because the root chakra, I'm really reading this as like insecurities and anxieties that need to be dealt with. And judgment, I'm also taking this very literally of like, there might be a fear of judgment that goes with being in center stage, a fear of judgment that goes from being on the other side. Like in the student teacher example, you know, like I guess students could face judgment too. They could have a fear of getting bad grades, but if you step up at the front of the class, all of a sudden, like there's all of these eyes on you. And if you mess up, it's not just affecting you, it could affect the whole class. And this is something I think about as a student. I'm like, oh, like if I get bad grades or if I don't take my responsibilities, I'm really the only one that suffers from it, unless I'm doing like a group project or something. But that kind of makes me feel safe, right? Like if I fuck up, I'm the only one who has to like deal with it. So I guess entering into this new role, you might feel more responsible for more people, or just like more eyes are on you. So if something goes wrong, you could face more judgment for that. I've also seen judgment as representing like a moment of truth of sorts, or like putting yourself to the test. So in the example of, you know, someone who watches a lot of YouTube videos, if they start a channel, it's like, oh, now I'm putting to the test, like, as a watcher of this content, have I really learned and absorbed what makes a good video? So it's that feeling of like, yeah, it's the moment of truth, and we're, you know, testing to see if you have what it takes. And that can be very scary. And that takes a lot of root chakra, that takes a lot of security and being comfortable in your own skin and being resilient. Like if you're stepping out there, you have to be really good with yourself, so that these external, whatever people might say or not say, cannot shake you. So this could also be your soul saying that they're wanting to help you build that solid foundation of, I believe in myself, I'm comfortable in my skin, I wouldn't let what anyone out there says like shake my inner peace, or shake my confidence, or shake my feeling of worthiness. So your soul might be also wanting to release some events from the past that messed with your confidence or that messed with your self-esteem. We do have Pluto here reminding me of like Scorpio, 8th house energy. This can be an energy of like shadow work, diving deep, releasing heavy energies, facing our fears, facing those darker memories. So if like you're feeling uncomfortable with stepping out into the limelight, so to speak here, I think your soul is maybe calling you to unpack that and saying that they will help you do that, and see if you have any aversions of like being more in the front, what do you call it? In the front row, being more in the center of attention. Is it a shyness, or is it something a little bit more? Is it feeling not worthy of the attention? Is it being afraid of judgment? Is it like being afraid of embarrassment or something like that? And build up that resilience of like, I'm secure within myself. And I know that whatever anyone might say, I still feel worthy. I still feel like I'm good at what I do. I'm resilient. This is like resilience and security, I think, that your soul wants to help you build. This could also go for like opening up your heart to someone, telling someone how you feel. And this root chakra is like, I know that no matter what happens, no matter what the answer is, I'm going to be good either way. So let's move on to the next deck now. This is the Song of Gaia oracle that I mentioned in the intro, where the postcard came from. Something's funky with this deck where I feel like some of the cards are flipped over, but that's okay. I probably just put them back wrong. My group number ones. Oh, we have Heaven on Earth, which this is actually, I think this was the image for option number 2, this illustration. So I don't know if you guys were drawn to number 2 as well, if you're coming from number 2, hello. But we have Heaven on Earth. It's here already. It starts within. We have Dolphin, Play and Laughter. Life is an eternal adventure. We have Home, Heart, Safe Space. And we have Surrender, Let Go, Let God, Having Faith in the Unseen. Okay, so my eyes are really going towards this home, this heart, this safe space. Some of you guys, your soul is craving grounding on this earth. I'm just looking at, this is a very earthy image, especially compared to the other oracle cards, like with all of this lush grass and the trees and the flowers, the waterfall. It's making me think of earthing. And then we have the root chakra, which is connected to the element of earth, and it is the energy center that keeps us like grounded and rooted in our physical body and keeps us here on earth. I think your soul is wanting to feel more at home inside your body and more at home in this planet of Earth. I think, oh my God, I could call myself out with this message, because sometimes I do feel like just escaping to higher dimensions or escaping to the more esoteric side of life, and I'm like, this is where I belong. But I think your soul does want to feel a belonging on Earth and does want to feel a home on Earth, and is maybe asking you, if you haven't already, to take steps to feel more comfortable in your body and in this planet. I guess rather than resigning to feelings of like, oh, I just don't belong here on this earth, like this 3D earth isn't for me, this incarnation isn't for me, I don't like being in this meat suit, I don't like being in this body. I think your soul is acknowledging that yes, finding a home here can be tough, but I actually want to find a home here. I don't want to just say this isn't for me and escape. I want to learn to feel comfortable, to feel one with the earth, to feel one with nature, and to really feel my roots like growing into earth. There's a practice that I think actually I heard this from ASO, like when you're doing meditation, when you close your eyes, to imagine like roots coming out from your feet and like really sinking themselves and anchoring you into the ground and feeling like you're one with Gaia, you're one with Mother Earth. I belong here. I am one with the humans, the plants, the animals here. My physical body is made of, well, it's made of space, dust, and stars, but it's made of the things of the earth. The earth is made of this too. So your soul might be wanting to spend more time in nature. I haven't done this in a while, but I really enjoy the process of earthing, like walking. It's literally just walking on the earth with your bare feet and feeling like you're connecting to the earth. I also like connecting to trees, and connecting to animals, anything that makes you feel the beauty of this place and really makes you feel at home here. So spending more time outside and spending more time with animals, with plants, whether that's outside or in your home. I think your soul wants to be surrounded by those things, surrounded by nature. And also your soul wants you to feel more comfortable in your physical vessel. And for some reason, I'm just feeling like meditation is helpful for this. Dance could also be helpful for some of you to feel more like at home in your body, or to feel more grateful in your body, as well as swimming, because we have this person swimming here. We have fish, we have dolphins, waterfalls. Spending time around water or spending time in water could also be very healing for your soul. I think your soul really appreciates you as a human and really appreciates your body, because your body is like this home for your soul, at least for now. And your soul is saying like, thank you to your body. Thank you for allowing me to experience this physical world, for providing me with this interface that I can go around and interact with the world, and I can see the sights and smell the smells and eat food and touch the grass and touch my companion animals and feel the water. And I think your soul's really, really appreciative of your body and wants you to be appreciative of it as well. Even if it's not, like, it doesn't have to be aesthetically, although you should feel beautiful, but I think this is more about like appreciating the life that your body allows you to experience, appreciating the movement that your body allows you to do, because there is really a joy in movement and like being in the flow. And honestly, for keeping you alive. So your soul is just presenting like a deep gratitude for your body and for this earth. And like, thank you, gravity, for keeping me here on this earth, and wants you to feel more comfortable here as well. That's like a really, really big message from here. I think with dolphin, play and laughter, life is an eternal adventure. We spoke with the Two of Wands that your soul is craving a new adventure. So I feel like this is really confirming that. But I think your soul is wanting to have more fun and take things less seriously. I think what you will find if you do feel called into this shadow work, there might be a fear of like, it's not just of judgment, but I feel like it's of embarrassment, or like being made fun of, or being laughed at, or something like that. Oh my gosh, I hated being laughed at when I was little. Even if like adults would be like, oh, it's just because you're cute, but I still didn't like it. It was, anyway. There might be some wounds or some painful memories surrounding that, because I think what happens is like, you know, we're silly, we're carefree, we're outgoing, and then maybe we get like shamed or ridiculed or laughed at or made fun of, and then we kind of like tighten up and we start to take ourselves really seriously so that that doesn't happen again. And I can hear your soul saying like, so what? Like, let people laugh at you. Like, I mean, it's easier said than done, but if you don't take yourself so seriously, like, these things cannot hurt you. These things cannot get to you. So I think your soul is saying here, like, when you heal this wound and you become more comfortable in your skin, when you become more grounded, even just the act of becoming grounded and feeling your connectedness with Mother Earth, that could help you to take yourself less seriously, because you stop feeling yourself as something that is separate from everyone else and from the rest of the world. And it's not like a me versus them. It's not like I have to prove myself to them. It just becomes like, existing becomes effortless. Like, I'm just here, I'm one with the world, and I'm here to experience joy. And like, I don't care what I look like doing it or how other people are seeing me. This is like your soul wanting to become uninhibited and wanting to become carefree like a child. I think that's why we have the sun here. The sun card in tarot, or just honestly the sun in general, it relates to children. It relates to the 5th house, which is like your inner child. It's pleasure, it's fun, it's confidence. And also I'm thinking that the sun card has a child on it. But yeah, having more childlike fun, I think, is something that something that your soul wants to do, and like doing things just for the sake of fun and not always thinking like, what results is this going to produce, or like, is this going to make money, or like, am I going to what is it called? Am I going to make progress? Am I going to get better at something? Maybe you're just going to have fun, and that's all that's going to happen. And that is a very, very valid reason to do something. Pleasure and joy is like the biggest, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, enrichers of your life. Maybe you're being called to like go on a leisurely vacation. I'm just looking at the globe, maybe a trip to the water, or like hiking into nature, and just kind of forget about the bullshit of the world for a while. I also think that disconnecting a little bit, spending less time on social media, or taking like a detox break could be something that is really beneficial for you right now. But finally, with this Heaven on Earth card, it's here already. It starts within. Like, your soul is wanting you to go inward right now. That's what it really feels like. We have to go inward and get good with ourselves, and then shine out, and then put ourselves out there. This is giving me that feeling, and this is something I had this like deep realization for myself recently, that like everything I really want is already inside me, because what I really want more than anything is just to be calm, honestly. I just want to feel calm, and I just want to feel peaceful. And that is something that exists within me, and something that I can cultivate within me no matter the circumstances. And I think this is your soul saying, anything that you want, if you really look at it, what you're after is a feeling. And any feeling already exists within you. It's already accessible to you. So, okay, let's take our final oracle deck. This is the fallback deck. And and we're gonna get some last messages from your soul. Mind your business. Let others do what they want. You can't change anyone. Keep your distance from those who drain you. Wow. So I feel like this goes back to the message of just like letting loose and being carefree, and not caring what other people think or say, except for this is kind of rephrasing it, that it's literally not your business what someone thinks of you. And I know that like worrying about what others think of us, it does feel like it's about us, and we're just trying to, I guess our ego is trying to protect us, but it's really not about you. What someone thinks of you, it's about them projecting something onto you, or you reflecting something about them back to themselves that they either like or don't like. And it has nothing to do with like evaluating you as a person, or like your worthiness as a person. And really what anyone thinks, it's like, unless you're hurting someone, obviously, but it's not your problem, and it's not your business, because you can't change what they think of you. If you try to change to impress person A over here, then suddenly person B is going to come and say, well, I don't like how you changed. And you just, I mean, it's cliche, but you really cannot please anyone. And if you try to make what everyone thinks your business, it's just going to mentally exhaust you. And all you can do at the end of the day is care about what you think and care about what makes you happy. And if someone upsets you or annoys you or triggers you, or like you disagree with them, it's not your job to change their mind or to set them straight. And you're allowed to just be like, oh, I don't like that. I don't want to go near this person. Like, life is too short to spend time around people or situations that drain us. Beautiful soul. Oh, you glow when you're comfortable in your skin. This is like everything we've been talking about. Your beauty goes beyond what you can see in a mirror. You are perfect as you are. Oh my gosh. And like, when we were talking about being comfortable in your body, I did feel like saying your soul is not necessarily putting the focus on like aesthetics, but more like what your body allows you to do, and everything your body does for you from day to day, not just keeping you alive, but allowing you to have these beautiful sensory experiences and interact with your loved ones. But you will find that, and it's funny how these things work, but the less you hyperfixate on your physical appearance and start to see your beauty and worth in other things, you will actually start to find yourself more beautiful, or you will stop caring so much about your perceived flaws. I'm gonna start getting emotional if I talk about this too much, but I had a kind of traumatic experience when I was younger that made me very like just hyper fixated on like my body and my looks, and I thought that that was like all I had to offer to a partner. And I guess my current relationship, but also combined with my own shadow work and just my own growth, it made me just realize that I'm a whole ass human and I'm so much more than that. But it's like you don't believe it until you see it. Like you hear people say like, oh, you're so much more than like your perceived flaws, or like how you look, or like you shouldn't care about that stuff. But I feel like that's something, if you're not ready to hear that, you're not ready to hear that. And I think you have to really do the work to see your worth, and then you're like, oh, that was true, that was right. Anyway, this is not about me, but maybe that resonated for someone. All of that to say, I feel like the less you fixate on like appreciating yourself physically or aesthetically, and appreciate yourself for everything else that you have to offer and everything else that your body allows you to do, you will actually start to feel more like externally beautiful. Okay, oh, self-love. Self-love equals self-discipline. Keep your word to yourself. Fall in love with how you feel when you are taking care of you. This reminds me of a Gem Goddess video that I was just watching. It was a manifestation video, and it was talking about how like when you show up for yourself and you do what you say you're gonna do, like you will start to trust yourself more, and it becomes like this positive feedback loop. And oh my gosh, maybe I'll like link the video for you guys. It was a really nice point that she articulated much better than I probably can, but it's like you develop that relationship of trust with yourself, and then you know, like when you're setting a new goal, or like when you're planning your routine, you're like, yeah, I know that I'm gonna do this. I know that I'm gonna accomplish this, because you've like established that relationship with yourself that you're reliable and you are gonna show up, and it feels good to do that. And this is also something that like I've kind of been talking about in recent readings, but like consistency is the most important thing. And you don't have to be giving the same all the time. Like your 100% is going to look different from day to day. Sometimes your 100% is like this much work. Sometimes it's this much work. Sometimes you'll do work for like 5 minutes and be like, I'm not feeling it. But the important thing is that you showed up, and you build that consistency, and you build that trust with yourself. Oh my gosh. Let's get one more. So anyway, this might be your soul's way of gently nudging you to get back to a certain routine of yours, or putting in consistent efforts for a certain goal of yours. Not to be hard on yourself, but just to do a little bit every day, and you'll see how good it feels when you show up. Like for example, exercising every day. Even if you feel like shit that day and you only do like a 10-minute walk, you still worked out, or you still exercised, you still moved your body. And so building that consistency, and also giving yourself the grace and giving yourself the gentleness to say like, I don't have to do a freaking like 10-mile run every single time. Because if you put that pressure on yourself, that's gonna like make you, what is it called? Make you averse? Give you like an aversion to doing it if you already put such a high barrier for yourself. So I think your soul is saying, just make a promise with yourself to show up every day. When you're achieving a goal or when you're building a new habit. And if you end up running 10 miles, that's amazing. If you end up walking for 5 minutes, that's also amazing, because I'm still learning how to trust you that you are going to show up every day. And then you feel, I don't know, feeling like you can trust yourself and feeling like you're going to do what you plan to do. That's like such an empowering feeling. Finally, oh, this, I cannot think of like a better card to finish this reading. I am safe in my arms. I care for myself like no one else. That's so beautiful. I like really don't have anything to add to that. This has been all about just like feeling comfortable with yourself, feeling secure, feeling trust within yourself. Oh, that's just such a perfect closing message. Wow. Okay, so my group number ones, those are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. That will be linked in the description as well as in the pinned comment. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below as well. Group number ones, I'm sending you guys so much love to your human self, to your soul, and to your spiritual team. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number twos, so if you guys chose this image, this is going to be a reading all about what it is that your soul is truly longing for. So we're just gonna dive right into answering this question and getting as many messages as possible from your soul. If the messages sound like what you already are doing or what you already have in your life, what you're already moving towards, then you can claim these messages as a confirmation that you are on the right path and that you are in alignment with what your soul desires. If the messages that come up are something that you don't have in your life, you're not really moving towards it yet, but it feels good when you hear the messages, then you could claim this as guidance to start moving in that direction. However, if the messages really don't resonate or sound like something that you want, you might want to try listening to another group, or maybe this is just not your reading today. But with all of that being said, let's get into the cards. So we're gonna start off with the Moonchild Tarot. Okay, that was pretty good shuffle for my group number twos. So let's see, what is it that group number twos truly want? So I'm gonna take these together as like one energy. We have the Three of Cups and the Ten of Cups. We have the King of Swords. And we have the Two of Cups. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're also going to take some clarifiers. This is the Astral Realms Oracle deck. So to clarify the Three of Cups and the Ten of Cups, we have red jasper with conviction. To clarify the King of Swords, we have desert jasper with resolve. And to clarify the Two of Cups, we have flower agate with expression, and we have the throat chakra on this card. Okay, so I want to point out like numbers and zodiac signs and everything like that before we get into it. So in terms of zodiac signs or placements, we have air signs with the King of Swords. So that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And then we have Venus in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, and Mars in Pisces, I believe. And then on these oracle cards, we have the numbers 25, 32, and 3. So these could be relevant. If not, don't worry about it, but it could be an extra layer of confirmation for those who may need it. So one thing that I want to point out for this group is that there was kind of an apprehensive, I would say, an apprehensive energy coming from the deck. I like to kind of feel the energy of the deck and how it's behaving when I'm shuffling it. And maybe apprehensive is the right word, or just kind of like conflicted about coming forward or about really embracing the message. I will say right off the bat, it's very, very clear that what your soul is longing for is true love and companionship in any and all forms. Just that feeling of being seen and loved by someone, and knowing that like someone has your back, having that beautiful connection where, you know, you pour your energy into it and you get energy right back, like that beautiful reciprocity, that beautiful feeling of someone really like seeing into your soul and really understanding you, knowing that someone will be loyal, that they will protect you, that they'll always support you, that they'll always tell you the truth, that they'll always lift you up. True companionship. That's what I see so clearly here with the Three of Cups, with the Ten of Cups, with the Two of Cups. Three of Cups generally talks about friendships. So this could be your soul's desire to call in your soul family, to call in like your platonic soulmates, your group of friends. Ten of Cups can be, oh wow. Yeah, I think that these together are talking about soul family. Ten of Cups can talk about family in the sense of like your spouse and kids, which that could also be something that your soul is longing for. But in general, it talks about love and bliss and emotional fulfillment and peace. This could be your soul longing for friendships that are just like stress-free, drama-free, that are peaceful, that are uplifting. I think your soul is also looking for their tribe that like they can go on adventures with, and that they can really trust. And the Two of Cups is also a strong indicator of like soulmate relationships, whether that be platonic or romantic. Your soul is longing for their mates. Your soul is longing for their companions. And I think that I'm just thinking back to that like apprehensive energy when I was pulling the cards, and this is so interesting. Like I saw this post on Instagram and I like almost went to share it on my story, but for some reason I didn't. Or maybe I did, whatever. I thought about doing it, and then like a few days later I saw that Aso Tarot had shared it. So I'm like, wow, this message is kind of following me, and this message is kind of hitting. And basically the gist of the message was that, you know, you can be really strong and independent and love yourself and all of that, and still long for companionship, or long for a romantic relationship, or long for physical connection. Those two things are not mutually exclusive, and wanting companionship is a very normal part of being human. And I wonder if like there is some part in your ego or some part in your logical mind that is kind of rejecting that message, or like doesn't want to identify with that part of you that might feel lonely, with that part of you that might be craving love, craving a partner, craving people who will just be with you and people who will just love you. I think that, I mean, there could be many reasons for it. One that I just mentioned is like that idea of like, oh, if I want a partner, it's because I'm not independent, or it's because I don't love myself, or it's because I need to keep like healing myself and working on myself, that I don't have this in my life yet. Or maybe that feeling of loneliness, there's a part of your ego that's like associating it with weakness, or there's a part of your ego that makes you feel like you're asking for too much, or that you're asking for something unrealistic, or that you're being desperate, or like there could be some negative associations. And I'm not saying that they're true, but there could be some negative associations that your ego has with like wanting companionship or wanting a romantic relationship, if that applies to you, that's kind of stopping you from fully opening your heart to the longings of your soul and fully embracing them and saying like, this is what I truly want. And I feel like maybe the King of Swords is representing that, because sometimes the King of Swords can be disconnected from his emotions, or is trying too much to like overanalyze his emotions. So there might be a part of you that's trying to like pick apart, why do I want this so badly? Because it's natural, because that's what humans want. Like humans are social creatures, humans need physical contact, humans need companionship, humans need to feel loved and accepted. And I think that maybe there's a part of you that's overthinking, and it's like, oh, if I want this so badly, it's because there's some unhealed aspect of myself, or, you know, kind of, what's the opposite of normalizing? Like, unnormalizing your desire for love and companionship. It is completely normal and healthy and valid to want this kind of emotional connection. And actually, now that I look at this King of Swords a bit more, there may be a part of you that's trying to distance yourself from these emotions, not because you're judging them, but because if this is something that you're truly longing for, and maybe you don't see this around you or see this in your life, that can be honestly kind of heartbreaking. That can be sad. That can be lonely. So maybe this disconnecting from these emotions is like a defense mechanism of sorts. I think it's quite interesting that the King of Swords on this card is wearing armor, and there's that feeling of like, I need to disconnect from these emotions to protect myself. And I think maybe this is your soul longing to take off that armor and longing to be vulnerable, and for you to be honest with this desire that you have and this aspect of yourself that craves connection. With this throat chakra and with expression, I'm thinking of like speaking your truth. I'm thinking of speaking things into existence. I think your soul wants you to get more active in like manifesting the love that you want and the relationships that you want. And if you do have loved ones in your life, family, friends, significant others, companion animals, to be more vocal and to be more expressive of your love and appreciation and gratitude. They're saying that this is going to make you feel alive. It's going to make you feel alive. It's going to make you feel more connected, and it is going to bring more of this love into your life. And I feel like with Resolve, this is reminding me of the Moonology Oracle card that says like your commitment is being tested, and the one that says hold your vision. I feel like this is your soul asking you not to give up on these wishes, not to let your heart like harden up or put armor on your heart or like disconnect from these wishes. And to allow yourself to believe that this true love and this beautiful companionship is really out there for you. And even this red jasper with conviction, I feel like, isn't conviction about like sticking to your guns? These messages together, conviction and resolve, it's this feeling of like, don't give up on your wishes. Or maybe there's a connection, like a specific connection that your soul is asking you not to give up on, like whether that's romantic, friendship, or family. It's like, keep believing in true love. Keep holding on, keep wishing, keep your heart open, like keep having faith in this. And that this true love is out there for you. That's what I'm really, really seeing with these cards. So let's move on now and take some cards from the Song of Gaia Oracle. I don't know why, but some of the cards in this deck ended up like flipped over. Okay, for my group number 2s, we have Snake, Shedding Skin, Kundalini Awakening. We have Journey, Leap of Faith, New Beginnings, Exploration. Mystery, No Need to Know, Surrendering to the Mystery of Life. And Speak. Wow. So this matches really, really well with the throat chakra. Voice it, express it, say it as it is. The truth sets us free. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I want to point out that like cats or wild cats could be a significant spirit animal for you guys, as well as snakes, or someone born in the year of the snake or the year of the tiger could be significant. I'm not gonna list all the years because I don't feel like doing that right now, but year of the snake is like 2001 plus or minus any multiple of 12 years, and year of the tiger is 1998 plus or minus any multiple of 12 years. So if you feel like doing the math, please feel free to do that. But wow, what a confirmation that we have the throat chakra and then we have speak. So it's interesting because I feel like sometimes there's messages of like whatever you're trying to manifest or whatever you're wanting, keep it to yourself, or like keep it protected until you're ready. So this might be your soul's way of saying like you're ready to come out and talk about what it is that you truly want. Maybe this is, for some of you, this is like your soul maybe is wanting you to reach out to someone, wanting you to be honest with someone about how you feel and initiate a conversation that could be uncomfortable, but ultimately will be very freeing and very eye-opening about what's going on in the connection. Like if you're feeling something or if you're longing for something, your soul wants you to speak it. Your soul wants you to let whoever needs to know. And this is very clear. And maybe up until recently, you've been feeling like it's not time. You've been feeling like you need to keep it to yourself. I'm just looking at these tigers and looking at the night sky. And this is kind of reminding me of like high priestess energy, where we're not like lunging forward yet. We're waiting, we're feeling the energies. We're in a more receptive state. Like the tiger waits for the perfect moment to pounce and perfect moment to go after what they want. And I think this is your soul saying like, you're ready. It's time to come forward. It's time to speak up to somebody. It's time to ask for what you want. I'm thinking of the Moonology deck a lot for this group, so I might have to like bring it out at the end, but I'm thinking of the Gemini moon cards. The new moon one says communication is key, and the full moon one says the answers you need are coming. and this is what your soul wants you to know. But it's like, if you want the answers, I feel like you need to speak up, or you need to initiate. So whether you want someone to know how you feel, or whether you want to know how someone feels, or you want answers, I feel like your soul is calling for you to speak up. And some of you guys might need to hear, don't let pride stop you from doing this, because there might be some of you that honestly are feeling kind of proud and like, I'm not going to reach out, they need to reach out first for whatever reason. But your soul is saying that, and this is harsh wording because I can't think of a better word, but it's like kind of petty, or it's not worth losing the opportunity to express what you really want to express, or have a conversation that could bring you closer, or that could bring you answers. It's not worth losing out on that just for the pride of like, I don't want to be the first one to say this, or like they have to come forward, or something like that. Your soul is saying it's time. It's time for the tiger to pounce. It's time for you to speak what you want into existence. In the same way, like any goals that you guys are working on and new things that you want to pursue, your soul is saying it's time to start speaking that into existence. I feel like you guys are coming out of a winter season and into a spring season. So like, you're coming out of being in a more like planning energy, introspective energy, perhaps a healing energy, and now it's time to shed your old skin and really like spring into this new beginning of your life. Your soul is kind of wanting you to become a new you at this time, and take actions to becoming a new you, and really embody the new version of yourself. Like, so start talking about your plans, start acting like the new you that you want to be, and really take a leap of faith into a new chapter. I think it's so interesting that we have like this message about shedding your skin, a leap of faith, a new beginning, exploration. Some of you guys, your soul is longing for travel or longing for relocation. And I'm also hearing like you're making moves. Oh, that could literally be like you're moving, but it could also be like you're making business moves, or like you're making moves to start a new endeavor. And your soul wants you to really embody this new identity. Some of you guys are like, you're struggling to believe, or you're struggling to embrace that you could hold a certain position, or that you could take a certain role. I'm almost feeling like imposter syndrome vibes, where your ego is saying like, oh, I'm not the type of person to do XYZ. Like, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough. Or your ego has this idea of like, a person needs to fit in this certain box to be able to take on this role. And I think your soul is wanting you to really become this role and to really embody it, because you can, and to know that you can. Like, start speaking. Like, if you want to be, I don't know, let's say you want to be a tiger. You start speaking like a tiger. You start growling. You start acting like a tiger. Start walking on all fours. That's a really weird example, but it's like, you can fill this role. You just have to be it. It's not about like what you do. It's about what you are. It's about assuming that new identity of your future self and your dream self. Like, start acting like the future self that you want to be right now, because you already are that person, and you need to believe that. It's like your ego has this idea of like, oh, I can't do that because only this type of person does that. Whether it's like something about your identity, something about your appearance, about your personality, about your experience, like what you have under your belt, your background, your age. Like, your ego has these ideas of like, oh, I don't fit the bill for that. Like, I'm not built for that. And your soul is saying that's nonsense. If you allow yourself to shed your old skin, you will be surprised about what's underneath. But it takes a leap of faith to do that, because once you shed your old skin, you can't put it back on. So this is maybe your soul calling you to actively walk away from your old identity. Wow. And I think the new you, your soul is saying you'll be surprised of how courageous you are and how assertive you are and how much of a leader you are. Like, this group, you have this within you, this like brave, bold, outspoken, risk-taking, action-oriented. Like, it's a very masculine energy that like you would be surprised that you have this fire inside you. But your soul is saying, like, it's not fake it till you make it, because you're not faking it. It's just reawakening this fire within you. It's I'm getting the analogy of like CPR, and I don't know how CPR works, but I'm just thinking of like, you are breathing into lungs until the lungs start breathing themselves. So it's like Spirit is asking you to act like this person that your soul wants to become, and that will be like breathing air into the lungs. So at first it will feel like, oh, I'm trying to act like this, and then you will get used to it and it will become natural. So as you start speaking up, as you start being more assertive, as you start being brave, taking risks, taking on a leader role, at first it will feel like this is something you're purposely trying to do, but it's like by doing it, that part of you remembers. That part of you wakes up and is like, oh yeah, I am this person. And then it starts to feel natural. I really hope that that makes sense, because it made sense in my head. But yeah, your soul wants to become a daddy, I think, and be masculine. And like, if I want something, I'm going to say it. If I want something, I'm going to go for it. Oof. Okay. So finally, well, not finally, because I actually think I want to get out the Moonology deck at the end of this. But next, we're going to take some cards from the Fallback Oracle deck. Shift your focus off the problems to see the solutions. You have all you need. There could be some problems that you guys are facing right now that maybe your brain is overcomplicating. And there's no judgment there, because I'm the queen of overthinking and overcomplicating things. But it's like the answer is very simple, but your brain might be putting a lot of obstacles there. So for example, like the example of you want to have a reconciliation with someone, or you want to have a union with someone, or you want to be someone's friend. Your soul is saying like it's as simple as reaching out to them, sending them a message, asking them. It's as simple as saying what you need to say. And I think your soul is just reminding you that I think our brain likes to build things up and like put a bunch of obstacles in the way and make excuses like, oh, I can't do that because this and this and this, and kind of make it more complicated than it really is. I think this is not one of the zodiac signs here, but there's some Aries energy, I think, that your soul is wanting to embody. Like, it's really as simple as just going for it. Once you remove the fear and the inhibitions, it's really as simple as just going for it. Even like, I feel like I might have used this example in group 1 too, but it's a very good hypothetical example. Like, I want to start a YouTube channel. It's really as simple as just starting it, but we make up all these things, right? Like, oh, I can't do it because I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I don't know how to do this yet. But it's very much a situation where you just do it and you figure it out as you go. So I think for a lot of you guys, like, this is your sign. This is your sign to start. This is your sign to go after what you want and not worry about not having it all figured out, because you will learn as you go along. And to just in general be more bold. Speak up more about what you want. There might be someone that you need to ask for help or ask for a favor. ask to connect you, I just heard. Speak up, ask for help, ask for the opportunity. You need to channel your inner Aries and just go for it. And now I'm thinking of the Moonology card, be bold and make the first move. We have listen more than you speak. Listen to understand, not to reply. Listen with empathy with your whole body. Notice what is not being said. This to me is a huge confirmation that if you start a conversation, you will receive a lot in return. You will get a lot of answers, a lot of clarity, a lot of messages from the other party. Like, I feel like if you start a conversation, you will open a floodgate, or you will like open a dam, and you will be surprised. You'll be surprised at how much comes out. And your soul will say like, you see how simple that was? Okay, I'll give an example. Let's say there's someone really important to you and you haven't heard from them in a long time. And you're like wondering what could be going on, and your soul is saying like, just reach out to them. But for some reason you're like scared to do that, or you feel like you can't do that. And your soul is saying like, just send them a message, tell them what's going on. And so you just send a quick message. You're like, hey, I just noticed you've been kind of distant. Like, I hope you're doing okay, or like, what's going on? And you're so freaking nervous, and you send it. And then this person just responds like this long message. I'm really sorry. I've been feeling this and this and this. And I've been meaning to talk to this about you. Talk to you about this. I've been feeling this in this way about our connection, and I want this and this and this moving forward. Like, you just asked that one little question, but you opened a floodgate, and your soul is like, see, all you had to do was just plant that seed. All you had to do was just poke that little hole in the dam, and then everything came rushing out. And you see, it's like you see what your fears and your pride could have held you back from, or like all you needed to do was ask for help, or ask for the opportunity, or ask for the raise, or whatever it is, and you will be surprised at the response that you receive. Like, with just a little seed that you plant, you'll get so much more than what you're expecting. Some of you may need to tell someone that they've been bothering you, that they've been upsetting you, that they've been rubbing you the wrong way. And you're like freaking yourself out that you can't do it because maybe you're afraid of conflict, or maybe you feel like you're overreacting. And then just with this little comment of like, oh, it kind of bothers me when you do this, you get this huge apology. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'll try to be better. I appreciate you so much. Blah, 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 blah. Like, you're getting back like tenfold. You just put this little comment, this little initiation, and your soul is like, you see, this is why you need to speak up. Because you never know. You never know what you can learn. You never know what you can obtain from just a little bit of honesty or a little bit of assertiveness. Don't be afraid to initiate. Celebrate you. Take yourself out on a date. Treat yourself to a massage. Take time to enjoy your own company. Okay, so your soul is asking for a little bit of spoiling, a little bit of pampering yourself. And then, wow, be vulnerable. Vulnerability is strength. Lay your cards out on the table. Reveal the true you. Keep your mind and heart open. There is no need to protect yourself. So I feel like this is simultaneously confirming that message of like needing to speak up, be bold, make the first move, but also the need to like be vulnerable in being honest about what you truly want, being honest with your higher self, being honest with your spirit guides, like when you're manifesting, when you're praying, when you're asking for blessings. Because it's like this King of Swords part of you, this logical part of you, or your ego, I feel like they've deemed some of your desires like too weak, too vulnerable, or too much to ask. But it's like, be open and lay it all out. That's really what your soul is wanting. So, okay, I'm gonna get the Moonology deck because she has just been calling out to me like crazy for this group. And there is like, what kind of bird is that? Some bird is flying overhead. Oh, it's a pigeon. Pigeons or doves could be a significant spirit animal for you guys. Pigeon and dove is actually the same word in Japanese, so I just put them together. Okay, let's see what the Moonology deck has to say. Oh my gosh, don't let pride get in your way, which we literally spoke about with the full moon in Leo. I think that from when I'm filming this, the next full moon in Leo would be in, I want to say February of 2023. I will put a subtitle if I'm wrong, but that could be a significant time for you guys. Oh, and also we have more like wildcats that could be significant. We also have meditate and contemplate with the new moon in Pisces, which would be also in February. That's kind of cool. Okay. February, that might be an important month for you guys. And we have your hard work is paying off with the new moon in Capricorn, which would be in like late December. So that could be like a window of time that's important for this group. Late December to late February. I don't know when you guys are watching this, or when this video is going to be up for that matter. That might be coming up soon. We might already be in that window. And honestly, with my luck, with my technical difficulties lately, if by the time I get this video up, it might have already passed, in which case, oops. But maybe you can look retroactively and say, yeah, something important did happen during that time. But I just see a lot of that there. Yeah, I feel like you guys have been very much in this phase of like contemplating on things and reflecting on things, which is a very important state to be in. Like, it's really important to be sometimes in this receptive energy and just be still and just think things through, or just be still and let answers come to us from spirit. But we don't want to get stuck here. Pisces, like the fish have to keep moving upstream. So I think your soul is really saying, like, we've been in this energy, we've been reflecting, we've been looking for answers through esoteric methods, we've been soul searching, but it's time to step out and confirm what we've found in the physical world. Like, let's take an action now in the physical world to prove this, or to, put our intuitive insights to the test. And you will see that whatever seeds you plant, whatever actions you take, they will pay off tremendously for you. Wow. I'm glad that I used this deck. Maybe I'll use it for group 3 as well, but don't tell group number 1. Okay, so my group number 2s, those are all the messages I have for you, so I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 2s, I'm sending so much love to you, to both your human self and your soul, to all of your loved ones, past, present, and future, and to your spiritual team. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose this image, this is going to be a reading all about what it is that your soul is longing for right now. So we're just going to dive into the answer to this question and get as many messages from your soul as possible. So if the messages that come up here sound like what you already have in your life, what you're already doing or working towards. You could take this as a confirmation that you are on the right path and you are in alignment with your soul's desires. If the messages that come up are not something that you have in your life or that you're currently moving towards, but it feels good in your heart when you hear the message, then this could be a guidance for you to start moving in that direction. However, if the messages really don't resonate or don't sound like something that you want, you might want to try a different group, or maybe this is just not your reading today. But with all that being said, let's get started with the cards. So the first deck that I want to use is the Moonchild Tarot. Yay, she's doing good today. Sometimes I have trouble shuffling the bigger decks, but we're doing a good job. All right, my group number 3s. What is it that your soul is truly longing for right now? So we're starting off with the 6 of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and Divine Wisdom. So this is like a custom or an original card of this deck, which is kind of cool. I also think it's quite interesting that we have 2 heads that are pointing in this direction, like looking over at the 6 of Wands. Maybe this is like the most important energy, but I also want to take some clarifying oracle cards. So we're going to take some cards from the Astral Realms Oracle deck. Okay, so we have Healing, Spirit Quartz, and Chiron with the number 33 to clarify the 6 of Wands. Also kind of cool that 33 reduces to 6. So the numbers 33 or 6 could be very significant to this group. And then we have Tangerine Quartz, Solar Plexus Chakra, and Shakti, and the number 5. And then to clarify Divine Wisdom, we have Introspection, Fluorite, and Asterion. I don't know. Those mushrooms look nice. It kind of looks like king oyster mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Okay, anyway, so and we have the number 15 here, which also reduces to 6. And I just looked up at the camera timer and it's at 3:03. So I feel like 3s and 6s are very important for this group, and maybe 5s as well. You might see those numbers a lot, or you could be life paths 3, 5, 6, or even a life path 33, like the master number 33. But anyway, let's get into the messages here. So with the 6 of Wands here, what I really felt is that your soul is longing for recognition for something. With the Queen of Wands next to this is a card that makes me think of like passion and also talent, especially creative talent. So your soul might be desiring more than anything just to create at this time, but not only to create, but to feel the joy of sharing that creation with someone. And I don't know if recognition is the right word, but like to get a response, I feel. I think it's very significant that, first of all, the number 6 talks about like reciprocity, harmony, balance, love. It makes me think of like 2 parties coming together and like exchanging energy. Your soul could be longing for some kind of collaboration as well, but it's like putting out energy and getting it reflected back to you. I think that's what your soul is really wanting. Your soul could be longing for a community to share your creations with, or like a community that you share the same interests, whether that's like spirituality itself, or even it could be like a show that you like. Talent was the first thing that was coming to my mind, but just like a group that you can share your interests with, and that, you can share your insights, your theories, like the gems that you find, the things that you make. Like, it's lovely to be able to enjoy that by yourself and, to enjoy that within yourself. But I think there's an extra joy when you then go out and share that with someone and get a response from them. So to use myself as an example, I love music, right? I love music. So if I'm listening to a song by myself, obviously that is in itself a beautiful experience. I love listening to music alone and just like dancing around my house or daydreaming or whatever it is. But it's like an extra layer of joy if I then send that song to someone else and I'm like, listen to this is so good. And then if they come back and say, oh my God, that is so good, and then they send me a song back, it just like really compounds the joy. And I think that that's what your soul is really saying, like, let's multiply this joy by sharing our passions with other people. Your soul is wanting that response. Your soul is wanting that reciprocity. Or you could even be the creator of that music. Again, I'm just using music as an example, but it's really interesting that I have another crystal deck where spirit quartz, the keyword is not healing, but music. So that's kind of cool. Maybe healing through music is like important for this group. But like, let's say you just make music in your room. Like me, I just made a song yesterday and I'm just like listening to it by myself, like jamming out. But the joy will then be multiplied when I go and share it with you guys, which I will. And like, I feel that response from you, or like that recognition. And I don't mean recognition as in like fame and fortune. I mean like just that recognition of like, you did something, you made something, and I'm interacting with it. That's a really, really beautiful feeling. I think that's what the Six of Wands is representing here, and especially why there's like mirrored imagery that's like very significant for this group. So like, I think your soul really just wants like a community to share their passions or their creations with and to get a response. If you guys are trying to build a platform or like build a name for yourself or build a business, your soul is definitely longing for the success of that venture and, you know, longing for your platform to grow. So if you feel like a desire for fame or a desire to get your name out there, I do think that is in alignment with your soul's mission. Like your works and your activities are meant to reach other people. And so that's kind of like driving you to keep going. I love that we have divine wisdom here as well. And like that they're both facing this direction. It's kind of like the divine wisdom is behind the Queen of Wands and sort of like guiding her. So I think that what this is saying is that whatever you're passionate about, whatever lights you up, it is very much guided by divine wisdom. It is very much guided by your soul. So just keep following whatever lights you up and whatever you're passionate about. And I also want to say with this energy that any like, because Six of Wands often makes me think of public figures, any like public figures that you guys are drawn to, whether like a public figure is such a broad term, but like whether it's literally like an A-list celebrity or like the YouTuber that you like watching, it could even be me. Like, I guess technically I'm a public figure, but I just mean like any scale, you know, whether they have like 49 billion followers, which is not even possible, or like 100 followers. Someone who's like out there in the public sharing their work is what I really want to say. I think that there is a very strong reason that you're drawn to them. Like they're kind of put in your path to inspire you and to reflect back to you traits and talents that you have within yourself. And possibly even to collaborate someday. But all I can really say for this group is like, keep following your passion. And you'll find your community, you'll find your tribe, you'll find your collaborators, you'll find your fans, your clients, if that applies to your situation. But all your soul really wants is to create and to express themselves, not just alone, but for that expression to really be seen and received and like to get a response to it, you know? That's what really makes your soul feel alive, I think. I also think your soul wants you to know that you're the shit and that you're really hot. I see that a lot with the Queen of Wands. Like your soul really wants you to be confident. I also think that your soul, hold on, I forgot to turn on the AC and I'm getting hot because you guys are so hot. I also just saw 10:10 on the camera timer, which makes me think new beginnings with infinite possibilities, I think that your soul wants you to stop comparing yourself to others as well. And, you know, to understand the difference between being inspired by someone or saying like, if that person did it, I can do it too, versus that person is doing it this way, so I should be doing it this way too. Or like, that person reached XYZ level of success by this age or by this point in their journey, so I should as well. Or this person looks like that, so I should as well. I think your soul is, I'm politely asking you to cut that out. And, you know, it's much easier said than done, but I feel like that could be hindering your divine wisdom. Like, I don't know, Cassie over there living her best life, she's guided by her own divine wisdom, and you are guided by your own divine wisdom, and your journey is going to look very different. And when you try to do what Cassie's doing over there, or what the, I don't know, what the celebrities are doing, or what the Instagram famous people are doing, it's like you are ignoring your divine wisdom, because you don't need to listen to what they're doing. You just need to listen to your soul, like whispering in your ear. This Shakti is like divine feminine energy. I believe it's like the counterpart to Shiva. Oh my gosh, I hope that I'm right. But it's like, it represents divine feminine energy. And so, first of all, feminine energy is extremely creative. Wait, let me get out. I actually have a piece of tangerine quartz. I didn't do this for the other groups, but I feel like this group. Let me just put out all the guys. Maybe this group is like clairvoyance, because I just feel like adding to the visuals. And oh my gosh, I just bought this yesterday. It's a fluorite dolphin. Look at how cute it is. Okay, so what was I saying? Yes, divine feminine energy. And I feel like feminine energy is free flowing. It's like water. You cannot force it to take on a certain shape. It will flow freely where it wants to, and it cannot be quantified. I think of like masculine energy is more rigid, it's more linear, it's like driven by numbers and like, you know, reaching this amount of followers, or like this amount of money, or reaching this position, or like timelines and plans, and like quantifying your success and measuring your worth and things like that. When masculine energy gets too out of hand, we start to get into that kind of toxic energy. And I think that there's a lot of that, because like, well, toxic masculine and feminine energy are a problem, but I feel like there's maybe an overgrowth of that. What am I trying to say? There's an overgrowth of that toxic masculine energy within society and maybe within you, and we're trying to bring back and restore the feminine energy. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that when you're in your divine feminine energy, you would not feel the need to quantify your success or to compare yourself to anybody, because you cannot be defined by numbers or labels or boxes, and you will freely flow in all directions and freely express yourself and fall in love with that process of creativity, of expression, and realize that if you're doing that, like, you've already won, because you're committing to like your ecstasy, you're committing to your joy. And you don't care about like striving for a certain material goal or ending up on that person's level. It's like you're just coming back to yourself. I'm having a little bit of burps come up because I think I'm getting excited. I think when you guys step back into your divine feminine energy, to your Shakti energy, like, it's gonna feel so good. You will feel like a snake shedding your skin after a long day. Like, you take off your persona who's like trying to meet everyone's standard and trying to fit in, and you just start to be yourself again. your soul might want you to stop thinking about labels so much, or to stop thinking about genres so much. You might have heard from someone somewhere, if you want to be successful, you need to think about your like genre and your target audience and your aesthetic and your brand, and like really like curate your identity. And I think the feminine side of you is like, no, I'm not a curated identity. I'm not a label. I'm not a genre. I'm not in a category. You cannot tame me. You cannot put me in a box. I'm just me. Like, your soul just wants to express itself freely, and you will be successful doing that. And I think you're gonna prove some narrow-minded people wrong, whether it's like just society in general or people in your life. Whew. So I think with divine wisdom and introspection here, your soul is just saying, like, you can connect to me at any time and I will guide you. Woo! When you connect with your soul, you will literally feel like tingly. You will feel like you're just full of electricity in a good way, not in like a nervous way. I just feel very like amped up and very charged up right now, and it feels really good. It's like coffee, but without the jitters. You just feel really energized and vibrant. And that's how you know when you're in connection with your soul, when you're doing what is in alignment with your soul's desires, you'll feel like giddy and full of physical energy. Because that's what I feel like right now. It feels really, really nice. So thank you for sharing that energy with me. That's beautiful. I think it's so interesting that we have like snake here and butterfly, because these are animals that like transform. Like the snake sheds its skin, the butterfly turns from a caterpillar into a butterfly. And I think your soul is also saying that you are allowed to constantly reinvent yourself. Like, you don't have to be the same person or like the same things from one day to the next, or be on the same path from one day to the next. You can completely change up your wardrobe, or change up your expression, or you can revise your beliefs if you find a truth that feels better. I guess your soul really just doesn't want to be like defined or labeled. And when you try to do this, it's really like limiting your divine wisdom. Wow. So, okay, I want to keep these here because they're really nice. I'll put them here. I love how the colors like kind of match. But yeah, your soul wants to get in touch with divine feminine energy. I think one of the reasons too that the divine is on your side to grow your platform and to gain this recognition is because you are a healer. And whatever it is that you do out in the world, like for a living, or whatever you're making, whatever you're putting out, it's going to be very healing to the masses. And that's kind of why you have this help with you. Like, you have the universe on your side. Okay, so we're gonna go into the Song of Gaia Oracle now, and let's see what else your soul wants. We have Flower of Life, Never-Ending Creation. We are the weavers of the tapestry of life. Very, very clear message that your soul is wanting to create right now. You might even want to, like, if you don't really identify as a creative person, your soul is maybe encouraging you to get into something like that. Some form of art, some way that you can express yourself. Oh my God, we have music. And I was saying I have a spirit quartz card that says music on it, and music might be significant. Sound medicine, music heals the soul. Healing with music. That's important for you guys. Maybe your soul is wanting you to listen to more music, or discover new genres of music, or maybe play an instrument or learn an instrument, or if you are a musician, to put your music out there. Maybe your soul wants to go to a concert. If your favorite musician is playing, maybe check up on them. I cannot count the number of times I just like lose track of my favorite artists, and then I'm like, what, you just played a show in Tokyo and I didn't know about it, and then like the show is already over. I actually bumped into an artist that I used to listen to the other day, and she had a show in Tokyo and I literally had no idea, and I was like, fuck. Maybe, yeah, maybe that's a sign for some of you guys to like check up on your artists, because sometimes the algorithm does not show you the posts and then you miss stuff. We have prayer, connecting with the divine through the power of prayer. Ooh, you know what this reminds me of? I just got, okay, I'm gonna have to use this deck for you guys. It's a Lemurian oracle deck, and I haven't used it in a reading yet, but I just pulled a card for myself when I got it. And it was this card that spoke about like make everything into a ceremony, or make everything into a ritual. And I read in the guidebook, and it was saying like what the people of Lemuria understood is that there's power in like doing everything with intention. So like whether you're like cooking or brushing your teeth or walking your dog, whatever it is, like imbue that with intention, whatever it might be, like as if you're performing a spell by cooking, or performing a ritual by making your coffee, or by like doing your skincare routine. Act as if this is a ritual and I'm manifesting the intentions I desire as I'm doing this everyday activity. Like every little moment in your life, even if it seems mundane, can become this kind of ceremony. And I read that card and I realized how many of my daily activities I'm just like rushing through and not really being present. That's the Aries in me for sure. I'm like, everything must be done quickly. For who knows why. Or just doing, like spacing out while you're doing your everyday things. I think your soul is saying if you slow down and do all of these daily things with intention, like everything becomes a spell, or everything becomes a prayer, everything becomes a ritual to manifest your desires. Dance could be significant for this group as well, because both of these people look like they're dancing. I don't know why so many of these cards got like flipped over. Okay. We also have divine union, the dance between the polar opposites, integrating the polarities within. So that's super interesting. Is that a goose? It's probably a swan, but it kind of looks like a goose. But swans or geese could be significant for this group. Also snakes, because we have snakes here, snakes here, snakes here, and we have butterflies. She's not with us on this card, but usually in a lot of decks, the Queen of Wands has a cat, so cat might be significant as well. If you guys have a cat, make sure that they're fed and they have treats. Anyway, so it's really cool to see this divine union card, because I'm thinking of balancing that masculine and feminine energy within you. And I think that your feminine side really wants to come out. And I also think that this is a card that could be hinting at some sort of collaboration, the same way this Six of Wands card was, and there was these two people dancing together, again with the dancing, and there's even two people playing music here together. So I think that there's like a significant collaboration for this group that your soul is longing for at first, and I do think this is still the case. I do think that your soul is really longing just in general for like a community, for their tribe of like-minded people, and to find their audience or like their client base, whatever it might be. But I also think there's like a specific person that your soul wants to collaborate with. If you know, you know. If you don't know yet, it's a surprise. But oh my gosh, and look at what's at the bottom of the deck. Soul song, like music or singing or dance or something is important to this group. What is your soul song? It's calling you home. And I think, okay, I could be very wrong with this, but I think that this is a kookaburra, which is like an Australian bird. So maybe Australia is significant. Maybe this person is from Australia, or you are, or maybe this is not a kookaburra and I'm wrong. Is it a kiwi bird? Like the New Zealand birds? Oh my gosh, I sound really ignorant right now. I feel like it's one of those though. Maybe I'll check. I'm gonna Google them after this reading, and let me make a note of that. I'm gonna Google them and make sure that I'm accurate about what this bird is, and I will put a subtitle. But like, I already said it, Australia and New Zealand could be significant to this group. I have to make a note so I don't forget. All right, so next we are going to use the Fallback Oracle deck. Sweat it out. Get out of your head and into your body. Practice yoga. Exercise frees the mind. So your soul is wanting you to move your body. Be where you are. Every situation has its gift. To move forward, we must first honor where we are. For now, where you are is where you need to be. This card is making me think of, I'm guessing that this group has big dreams and big goals, and this card is reminding me of like learning how to start where you are now with what you have now. You know, there's some times where I feel like a lot of the messages in this reading are for me. So like, if you guys chose this group, we're on the same boat, we're on the same journey. But you know, there's a lot of times where I feel overwhelmed. Like I still kind of feel like a baby in music, and I don't have like, you know, big fancy budget and equipment, and I still like, I'm not comfortable in front of a camera and this kind of thing. But there's still things you can do, you know, even if you're not quite there yet, there's still things that you can do right now to take little steps towards the version of you that you want to be. And I kind of, group 2 had a little bit of a similar message. It's a bit different, but there's that same sentiment of like, if you look at the whole big goal in its entirety, it can be very overwhelming. But just focus, even like, and this is the second time I've mentioned Gem Goddess in this video, so maybe some of you guys need to check her out. Or maybe I need to check her out, like check out her channel and watch videos. But like if you just focus on making a 1% change every day, those 1% are going to add up. And because it feels more realistic to you, like you have less resistance. You have less resistance to it. It may seem crazy to your analytical brain to become, again, in the example of music, to become a huge international superstar from where you are now. But it may seem a lot less crazy to your brain of like, let's brainstorm lyrics for like an hour today or like 30 minutes today. Or like, let's look at photographers in the area, or let's look at music studios in the area, and maybe let's even like book a session, or, you know, like taking those little tiny steps like that over time will add up. And wherever you are now, you're meant to be here, and you do have resources where you are now. Cleanse. You are water. Cry, sweat, drink, soak, swim to refresh. So this is second mention of sweat. Your soul's kind of wanting to get its sweat on. I personally feel when I exercise that I'm more open and more receptive to intuitive hits, because I can't really think about anything else other than like, just keep moving. And then it just like clears my brain. Your soul might also want you to stay hydrated. So this might be your sign to drink some water. I will do it now with you. And also, some of you guys might need to take a bath, or even better, swim in like an ocean or a natural body of water. Some of you guys might also need to have a good cry. That's also really something that opens up your channel to intuitive hits. You have to release the emotion. I feel like the channel that our emotions come through and that psychic insight comes through is the same. So if you're holding in an emotion, it's like you're blocking that channel. You have to let the emotion pass through to keep that channel open and keep it flowing freely. And then finally, we have trust yourself. So trust that divine wisdom. Your intuition is powerful. Trust it. Nothing can replace your internal compass. And that's why it's so important not to compare your journey to someone else, because you have very different internal compasses. You're not on the same journey. Okay, so let me get that Lemurian deck. Where is it? Oh no, where is it? Is this it? Okay, I found it. Eesh. Oh my gosh! Okay, that was almost a disaster. I almost made a bunch of decks and rocks fall on the floor. All right, you are the first group to use this Lemurian deck. Okay, what else? What other messages do we have for group number 3? Okay, so this is the goddess of wind, and it says focus is key. Like, focus is key to unlock your powers. So this is encouraging you to learn how to focus your thoughts. And it's interesting that we have these white birds flying. It's kind of reminding me of like this swan or this goose. And again, there's 2 of them. Yeah, there's definitely like some collaboration vibes going on here. Like, could even be like you're gonna be business partners with someone, or you're gonna be like a duo. I just thought like a pop duo, like, you know, like a duet with somebody. But yeah, this is like the, what would you call it? Like the palace or the kingdom? I don't know the direct translation of the word, but it's like the kingdom of the wind goddess or the air goddess. And she's here to teach you how to focus your thoughts. That's like the key to your success, learning how to increase your focus. And actually that makes a lot of sense. Like, it's one thing to have all of these like amazing creative ideas or amazing business ideas, but it takes a lot of focus and willpower to like sit there and do the deep work and do also the mundane work to get it out there. And if I use myself for an example, it's like, you know, the process of making music, it can be really fun, but there's also some parts that feel kind of mundane. I've spoken about this before, but sometimes like sifting through a bunch of sounds, or like, actually, you know what? Once you get into it, it is very fun. But like sometimes thinking about the process of doing that, it feels like daunting. It feels dreadful. And I just can't get my brain to like get motivated and focus on it. But once you do it, you will get into that flow. You will get into that zone. This card could be encouraging you to have a little bit more discipline and maybe spend more time visualizing, actually. Like in your day-to-day life, spend more time visualizing the version of you that you want. And I think this goes back to actually the card from this deck that talks about doing everything with intention and making everything into a prayer. Spend less time like letting your mind idle and just try to do more things with focus, and keep bringing yourself back to that, like, who am I becoming? Who am I becoming? What am I creating? Where do I want to go? Let's get one more from this deck. Oh, look, it's dolphins. Aww. Dolphins might be significant for you guys as well. And this is kind of reminding me of the 3 of Cups, because there's like 3 dolphins. Oh my gosh, it says like, if you share, like, let's share with each other and that will spread the love. Oh my God, that's so cute. So yeah, your soul is longing for community and collaboration and just to celebrate what they're so passionate about. Like, you know how good it feels when you're talking about something that you're really, really interested in, and someone's like listening to you and they're getting excited and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, or they're like asking you questions. It feels so good, right? Like, to have your interests validated and shared with others. I think your soul just like really wants to spread the love. Like, they want to share what they love, and they want to give love to the people around them and feel love. Oh my god, this is so cute. Like, I feel like your soul really has just like a pure, just such a pure, loving and enthusiastic and childlike energy to them. And I want to tell you guys, like, don't ever lose that. Don't become a boring adult. No offense to adults, but like, you know what I mean. Live your dream. Live your creative, divine, feminine dream. Live the life that you want. You will find your tribe. You will find your collaborators. You will find your dolphin buddies. I can't get over how sweet this card is. Like, let's share with each other and it will spread the love. Oh my gosh. Let's also, I was gonna use this deck. I pulled it out during group 2's reading. So let's get one card from the Moonology deck as well. Ooh, oh my gosh, you and your loved ones are safe. And you know what's really cool? In tarot, both the Two of Cups, which is like this divine union, and the Three of Cups, which is like these dolphin buddies, they're both associated with the sign of Cancer. So it's kind of cool that this is appearing. Cancer season might be significant to this group, late June to late July. I don't know when you're watching this video. I don't know if that's soon or not, but if you feel like it, remember remember that time frame. It could be important. But you know what this card is actually making me think is that, like, there is a spirit guide, like whoever you're meant to collaborate with, whoever you're meant to find and share the love with in this lifetime, there is like a loving spirit guide who is watching over all of you. And because of that, like, you're always together. You're always together and you're always protected. Wow, what a beautiful message. So, woo, I'm like so, like, what do you call it? I'm so jazzed up right now. I'm so energized. Thank you guys so much. What a beautiful energy. Okay, so I am going to end the reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. That will be linked in the description and the pinned comment. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 3s, I'm sending so much love to you, both your human self and your soul, and much love to anyone in your tribe, anyone whose life you will touch by sharing your passion. I'm sending love to all of you, and to any public figures or anyone who has inspired you, I'm sending love their way as well, and anyone you will inspire in the future, and to your spiritual team and your spirit guides. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. And I just saw 3838. Bye-bye.